And welcome everybody to Dr. Luke on Call, the channel where we give accurate medical information to all communities. I'm Dr. Schalk, and I believe that it's through a lack of knowledge that our people perish. Today I'm very fortunate to have some important guests that I'm going to interview on a Zoom meet. And the reason why I say they are important, maybe not because they're so famous, but they are a family of 4 that had COVID, all 4 of them, and all 4 came through it with flying colors. And the interesting thing of this family is that Dad, Anthony, brought the virus from work, like many of us might get it at work or wherever we are, to home. Mum, Janine, has got an immune compromised situation, so she's a little bit at risk for these things. And other people were so worried what's going to happen to them, is this going to be, they're all going to go to hospital and all that. And then they've got the 2 girls as well, Jenna and Hannah. And we're going to hear their story today, their story of hope and their story of inspiration. This to tell you guys that there's definitely hope and there's a way to get through this. So without any further ado, welcome to the Pierce family. All of you, really great to talk to you.
Thank you, Dr. Berger.
Hi, Janine. And then we've got the girls, Hannah and Gemma.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Let's start with the main thing that everyone wants to know. How did you look at this whole COVID situation, and what is your expectancy of it? Are you going to get sick? Are you going to know someone that gets sick? What did you think of this whole thing?
Yeah, I think we're all living in a very fearful time, and it's to me almost like we're being terrorized by something that you can't see. So you're so fearful, you don't know where it's going to come from, when it's going to get you, where it is, where it's not. How do I keep myself, my family safe? Yeah, the fear is just everywhere. And the message today would be for me to hopefully, as I said before, I always wanted somebody that I knew closely or was acquainted with to actually get it. I didn't think or hope that it would be us, but so that I would have a better knowledge, to be less fearful, be able to make more informed decisions, and just be less panicked about it, and know that there is hope, and that not necessarily, it isn't just a doom story for everybody that contracts this horrid disease.
Okay, yeah, thanks. And just a little bit of background, on you guys. I know you and your husband got an amazing achievement. The 2 of you swam the English Channel. Is that right? In 2014?
Yeah, we were very grateful and blessed that both of us were able to. We made a decision to attempt to cross the channel in 2014. Yeah, and it's I'm so lucky and blessed because there's a lot of outside factors that you have no control over. Everything lined up, and our dream did come true in September of 2014, and we both successfully crossed the channel on the same day. Not swimming together, but we both finished on the same day.
Yeah, and I think when you go through adversity and go through tough times, that takes a lot of effort. And also the togetherness as a family, as a community, for preparing for something like that, sure also gave you a little bit of a backup to lean back onto, or strength, that you did that and you can get through this together as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the especially mental roller coaster that an endurance event like that takes you through. I've said very much to some people, that's what it's felt like in lockdown, that absolute roller coaster feeling of sometimes feeling fine, some days feeling terrible, some days feeling awful, some days feeling better, some days feeling fantastic. Yeah, so knowing that, whatever feeling comes will actually go again. And the mental toughness of that event is something that, was of immense value, to me especially.
Okay, great, stunning. Okay, so just to get back, I think it was, you said towards the end of May, Anthony came home, and did he have symptoms? How did he expect he was sick? What did you sort of think?
We were aware on the Monday of that particular week that one of his sales reps at work, we're very grateful his business stayed open all through level 5 and 4, so we knew the risk was always going to be there, but never quite, the reality never kind of hit home until he came home to say this particular person is at home not feeling well and has been tested. And the girls and Anthony were actually doing a Zoom session with an exercise session with a personal trainer. And I was listening from the side, and they were kept telling Dad that he was white in his face, and Dad was sweating, and Dad just wasn't quite himself. Yeah, and he sat down after the class. Anthony has some heart issue, and just, I was concerned it was his heart, and he says, no, it's not my heart, I've got this incredible headache, it's sitting right on his head. And yeah, Anthony is a very, very tough physical character. Anybody that knows him will attest to that. But he just actually took himself to our bedroom and lay down, showered, lay down in a little ball in like the fetal position and closed the curtains, which sent me particularly in an absolute panic, because I was just, what is this? But he had no temperature, no cough, nothing. We kept taking out our little temperature thing and sticking it under his arm, but his temperature never went above, I think, 37.2, 30, yeah, the low 37. And that evening, I moved out of the bedroom just as a safety precaution. But by the next morning, he said that he felt in the night that he'd actually, sweated out a fever. He woke up and his shirt was wet. But by the next morning, he was absolutely fine. So this was the Wednesday. Yeah, so we were a little bit baffled but I knew at heart that for him to lie down in that manner is very, very abnormal. He's never done that in years.
Okay, thank you. So when he had these symptoms, who was the next person that felt ill?
On the Wednesday morning, little Gemma woke up saying she was not feeling well.
Okay, Gemma, what did it feel like when you woke up?
When I woke up, I just felt very hot and like I had a very bad headache. And then as the day went on, I just kept on having those symptoms.
Okay. And no nausea, no vomiting, no coughing, nothing like that? Okay. So it was mostly the headache. And how long did that stay there for?
That stayed there for about 1 day. And then a few days later, then I didn't feel well. And then I had quite a bad fever, like 38, and then my throat was quite sore and my headache was still there.
Okay, and who was next?
So I think Jim felt sick on the Wednesday, and I was fine until about Friday morning when I woke up, and I was just exhausted. I didn't have energy to really get out of bed. And I just had a really sharp headache in like the top of my head over here. And I had some nausea, which is also very unusual. And I was only sick for probably about 2 days, just 2 days of lying in bed, feeling exhausted and just having no energy. But then I was fine.
Okay, so yeah, and as far as I understand, Hannah, that's pretty abnormal for you to feel exhausted. You're a national swimmer, isn't it? You're quite a good swimmer as far as I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty active. I lead a pretty active lifestyle, and I've been exercising throughout lockdown. And I have a lot of energy to get rid of because I just naturally have a lot of energy. But I couldn't get out of bed. I just had nothing in me.
Okay, so and then 2 days sort of flat rested, and you were fine after that.
It's good to go.
Okay, fantastic. And then tell me about medication. What medication were you given?
So during those 3 days, Mom became known to us all as the Panado police.
Okay.
She come in to check that we are taking up Panado every 2 hours. So I have sport-induced asthma as well. So I was on what was it? Zithromax?
Yeah.
I was taking Zithromax and just Panado and my asthma pump, and that's it.
Okay, fine. So and your chest didn't become tight. Your breathing was good.
My chest wasn't tight at all. It only got, when I tried to exercise the day after, I think it was on the Monday, I was a little bit short of breath. So it just didn't go as hard, but I could breathe really easily, which was a big relief.
Okay, and Mum, what happened to Mum in all this time? When did you think you're ever going to get sick? Because you're the one that's got the medical conditions, or what was the story?
Yeah, so I'm the one that's immune compromised and the weakest physically actually of us all four. So I was very surprised at this point and feeling like quite a superhero, thinking that I'm still doing okay. Yeah, so I was the last man standing, which, yeah, just as a perspective from a mom was a relief to me to be able to make sure that they were okay first. So I only got symptoms probably on the Monday, the 1st of June, and was tested very much because of my immune compromised situation, and I'm asthmatic. I was tested on that Monday as well.
Okay. And medication, did you take a whole lot of extra medication, or did they put you on something as a precaution, or what did you do?
Our pulmonologist prescribed, because Anthony, myself, and Hannah, all three asthmatic, our pulmonologist prescribed a whole range of extra vitamins and immune boosting drugs, as well as stuff to keep the phlegm clear in the throat. He was very instrumental in giving just probably the most solid advice and practical stuff for us to do.
But all four of you stayed home. You didn't go anywhere. You weren't admitted in hospital or anything.
No, so we're very grateful that all four of us came through it. Obviously, having different patterns of symptoms and recovery, but I mean, we're very blessed that all four of us came out the other side with absolutely no complication.
Okay, now just a little bit about the people that you know, the people around you, the family, dealing with their emotions. Because sometimes some people always tell us, some patients tell us they need to deal with their own sort of fight and struggle, but dealing with the people around you, that's almost a bit more of an emotional challenge with what they feel and how fearful they are.
Yeah, that was very interesting to me. I mean, so initially when, especially when my diagnosis came, there was, as a family, you do want to panic. I remember Anthony putting the pulmonologist on speakerphone for all of us to listen to him, and his words, I won't add some of the adjectives he used, but the basic message was just to say, do not panic. And I remember Hannah saying, it might be a little bit too late, but, the ultimate thing was just absolutely not to panic. So I think once you get over the fear of what is going to happen, are we going to get this thing? And my elder brother, who's very wise, said to me, you've been dealt this hand, these cards, now you've got to play them. There's no way around it. So it's, you get dealt the hand and you have to stay calm, not panic, and just move forward and do everything the best you can.
Okay. And girls, from your side, your friends?
When I found out that we obviously had it, at that time I felt that there was such a stigma around it. Like there's the stigma that I didn't find like reassuring at all, knowing that. So I only told my really close friends or the people that I wanted to tell, and just because I know they would want to know. But if it had got bad, then I would have told more people. But I just felt there was such a stigma, and personally, I just wanted to fight through it without really telling people. And now when I tell people, they're still a little bit hesitant. Like I told somebody today at school, and they immediately took 2 steps back. But yeah, I chose not to tell people.
Okay, yeah. And you, Jen?
Well, at first I didn't tell anybody, but then as it got on, I told one of my friends. But then every day I kept on asking, how's your mom, how's your dad, how's your sister, how are you? And it was just,
I think we were very, very law-abiding family during the lockdown. So it almost felt to me like you were labeled as being naughty if you got it because you broke the rules of lockdown, which we absolutely didn't. We've hardly stepped out of this home. We have down the driveway, Anthony's mom of 75 lives on our property. So we've had to be really, really careful about her as well.
Okay, and then something I didn't ask, did you actually get to test the children as well, or did you not test them? I know obviously the two of you, the adults were tested. Were the kids tested as well?
By the Saturday, the pulmonologist has said to us, look, it's impossible if they've already shown symptoms, if they're already through it, it's almost pointless. Hannah was tested on the Monday, and hers, when I was tested and came back as not detected, but they still said that we've got to presume that she's got it, that it's impossible in the environment that, given that they had symptoms. that they didn't have it.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, because a lot of people now, we see it in the schools that are opening up a little bit. There's contact with positive people, and a lot of parents want to test their children, but that are asymptomatic. And you like you say, there's no point in doing that. And also there's such a backlog in tests, so it's really if you just do the right thing, stay home, you don't have to test. And like you say, if you tested negative anyway, you probably would have found that if you tested it 48 hours later, you would have been positive, but it still doesn't change anything.
Yes, yeah.
So if we can summarize a message of all three of you, just like a final message of hope, what you would say to your friends, what you would say to the people out there, just a bit of a message of hope.
Hannah can go first.
So I just think that right now there's so much uncertainty around, and there's so much uncertainty about what will happen if you somehow do land up with the virus. So my message of hope would just be to stay calm and to just take care of your close family. Yeah, and just to not panic.
Okay, thanks, Hannah. That was good for, I think you spoke for both you and your sister. From your side, Janine, any final sort of message of hope, closing message?
I think what you said earlier, you asked about the panic around us. People around us were very, very panicked about us, more almost than what we were about ourselves. Yeah, and I think it's, I listened to one of your interviews with the pediatric pulmonologist, where one of the comments from there was to me that you need to make informed decisions. And it's about finding the doctor, the doctors, the people that you can trust, to listen to their advice, to follow it, to stay calm, to keep moving, to keep having fluid, keep your metabolism going, and to just fight things one actual step at a time. And I think a positive attitude is massive in dealing with it.
Well, thank you for that, and for for a really great story of hope and of inspiration. That I always say to the people, remember, we were created with an incredible immune system, and we will get through this. And it's important what you say. We don't want to panic, because panic creates a whole stress response from the adrenal glands, and that suppresses your immune system. So the bottom line of all the basic things: get enough rest, eat as healthy as you can. If you can be a little bit active, is good. If you can get a little bit of sun, it's good. And you guys are a testimony of when a family stays together and support each other, they can definitely get through it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that was the Pierce family of 4 that were all diagnosed with COVID and came through it with flying colors. It just shows you that whenever we get challenged with big things, if we work together as a unit, work together as a family, and not panic and not have fear, we can overcome, and we will overcome this. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want me to do a follow-up with Dad to hear his side of the story and how he felt when he actually brought the virus home, then leave a comment down the bottom. Stay safe and stay healthy.